Well, I don't think I'll take over, but I have the very enviable task of introducing you tonight to Shani Wallis, who, when I saw her performance in '68 back in Madison, Wisconsin, she sang 4 songs, and one was just liltingly beautiful, As Long as He Needs Me. I think you'll probably recall that, too. After this movie, she quite deservedly became an international star. Our other guest tonight, it's a real privilege to introduce you to Anna White. Anna has been nominated for 7 Tony Awards, and for her work on Oliver, she received a special Oscar. It was so extraordinary, which I know you agree because you've been here tonight. So please welcome Shani and Anna. Anna, hello.
I don't know these things.
What?
I've never used one of these before.
Oh,
There we go. It's not exactly a choreographer's tool.
You just use that big horn, you know, out on the set, right?
That's true, darling.
On the lot.
She's the most divine lady in the whole world. I really don't need her.
Anna, you've worked extensively in Broadway. You've done a number of musicals, including The Music Man. Could you talk about your experience with this absolutely extraordinary musical for its times? It was one of the biggest productions ever. How did it compare
Oliver?
with Broadway? Yes.
It took me 1 year to do it. I'd had my children over there going to school, and the English were so wonderful to work for, weren't they, Shani? And I had... they gave me a house, a chauffeur, a maid. They gave me everything I needed. And I'm sorry that my daughter's here. My daughter's here. My son couldn't come because he's in Sacramento. And he's got my 2 beautiful grandchildren. But he's the one that used to cavort with the Fagan's kids, you know. And I used to have like parties on the weekends. We'd have to hide the liquor and all the cigarettes. They were wonderful kids, though. They really were.
You had a lot of wonderful kids in Oliver. Can you?
Oh, yes.
Hundreds of kids. Can you talk about them?
I wish to God that Jack Wilde was here, because you know he just helped me so much with
The
Mark.
Artful Dodger.
Mark Lester had never done anything before, and so Jack. I said Jack had done the stage play, so he knew the property. So he helped me with. He'd take Mark's hand and pull him through the numbers. You know, he was, and you know that Mark is now. What is he, Shani?
A chiropractor.
A chiropractor, 40. And what I wish I knew what Jack Wilde was doing, because I just adore him. And where the hell is Ron Moody?
Ron, he's got a lot of kids now.
He does? Oh, really?
Since the movie, too.
Oh, really? Oh, dear, oh, dear.
No,
But anyway, it was a pleasure to do it. Sir Carol Reed, God rest his soul, was heaven to work with. You know, and he was so... Well, you know, let me tell you a little secret. Is Lionel Bart still around?
Yeah.
Because Lionel Bart wasn't sure that I should do the movie.
Oh, he wasn't sure I should do it either.
No, because I wasn't English. I was Canadian, but that wasn't close enough. So to prove to him that I could do it, I had to do Who Will Buy, which had 265 people in it. Remember that, Shane?
That was the big production number, the Bloomsbury one, with all the kids in their blue uniforms and yellow, I think.
Oh,
Is
honey,
that
I
the-
don't know. There were thousands of
Thousands of them, okay. All in
And
costumes.
it was... and so I had to do that first to prove to Lionel Bart that I could do the movie. And from then on, he couldn't do enough for me. Because you have to prove yourself.
How about you, Shani? How did you come to the movie? Did Carol Reed cast you in it first?
No, he had never met me, actually. And I was in a show called A Time for Singing that was on Broadway.
Yeah, I saw that, and she was very good.
Thank you, Anna. And I went on to the Ed Sullivan Show one night, and I did the song from the musical, the ballad, the love song. And Mike Frankovich, who was the head of Columbia Pictures in California, happened to have the TV on. And he saw me and sent me a telegram and said, hey, come on out to Hollywood, you know. I think I have a role that's, you know, great for you. So that's how it happened, really. And I flew out from New York. But when you say...
This was your first movie role, too, wasn't it? No, it wasn't?
I did a movie with Charlie Chaplin.
A King in New York, that's right.
A King in New York, and I've done some other movies, but nothing on the scale of Oliver. But it's funny you should mention about having to prove yourself, Honor. I think we were all in the same boat, because I don't think Sir John Wolfe thought that I could do Cockney, and I grew up that way. You know, I mean, I was a Cockney, and I had to go back to England about 3 times, just constantly, you know, having to prove myself, and then doing a test, and they wanted, I mean, I think, didn't you all want Elizabeth Taylor or somebody absolutely gorgeous like that? Or?
No, I never did.
Well, anyway, there were a lot of people that were vying to get the role. You know, there were.
Yeah, there were. Who was the one that
was
did it on stage? She was the closest. Who did it on stage?
Georgia Brown. Georgia Brown. Yeah.
But her test was not.
Her chest?
Her test.
Oh! I won't say any more. Oh dear.
Well, Shani, there was a real bawdy aspect to your part. You had to combine a lot of sentiments from sweetness to worldliness to absolute despair. Could you talk about how you prepared for that, and then doing the singing all at the same time?
Well, I've always sung since I was a very little girl, and that really didn't worry me too much, the singing part of it. And as far as the actual character, I had a great deal of help. And I had a test, along with a lot of other people. And Lewis Gilbert actually did the test, but he didn't do the movie. And Sir Carol Reed, who, when he first met me, said, "My God, I thought you were like 6 feet tall." You know, he thought I was very tall. But I absolutely idolized Sir Carol Reed. I mean, we all did, didn't we? Oh, yeah. And he never creased his...
He was a marvelous man.
Remember, he always had baggy trousers on, and we always used to say, "Why don't you get a crease in your trousers?" You know, he was such a cute guy, and he was so tall.
Like when I was doing Who Will Buy, the first number, and he was on the set all the time, looking and looking and looking. And he said, "Gee, Anna, is there anything I can do to help you?" And I said, "Yeah, Carol. I'd like some birds flying at one point." Well, he said, "I'll do that." So he stood there, and I said, and he let the birds go. That was his contribution to the number. He was a darling. He was so sweet.
But the one thing I will say, Anna, was that you were so fantastic for the choreography in the movie, in every number.
Well,
without fail.
I was young.
And we had to. She was a hard taskmaster. I mean, it took us forever. We were all there for a year, going through our paces. But Sir Carol Reed was very stubborn, and Anna White was very stubborn. And I remember the scenes you got, and with